Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our second episode of No Shelf Control. I'm Brittanie.
And I'm Laura.
And we're so excited to be back with you guys on episode 2. Our first episode, our pilot episode, has been out for a week now, Laura?
I think a week, yep.
And we've been getting some great feedback. We're so pleased that you guys like it. But let's dive into our second episode. What's been going on with you, Miss Laura?
Oh boy, Brittanie, let me think what has been going on with me. So it's been another week or so. Well, since we recorded last, I think about almost a month, another of COVID. So really what has been going on with me is the same old, same old. I am working on my plants. My plants, you know, I'm a plant person, and I have something wrong with my Meyer lemon tree, and I cannot for the life of me figure out what it is. And every time it drops a leaf, I feel like dropping some tears.
So I, of course, used to be on the Essex team, and then
Yes.
I recently transferred last summer. Oh my God, it's almost been a year, Laura.
I know.
To the Leamington team. And patrons, if you're listening, I don't know if you know this, but your Leamington ladies are a bunch of plant moms. The plants even come from their house and they arrive at the library somehow to get some sunshine. So they seem to be rubbing off on me because I went to Calisani's and I bought like 12 different plants from Calisani's. So now I'm a plant mom. So we'll see how that goes because no plants have ever survived in my house. So this will be interesting.
I believe in you. You can totally do it. Just don't go buy a lemon tree.
That seems way too complex for me. I got some cactuses. Actually got cactuses last year when COVID started. I thought, ooh, this will be a good time to be a plant mom. And they're still alive, but they're very pale in color now. So I think they need some TLC.
Well, my actual kids are pale in color right now too. So it might just be the time of year.
It's not just me, even the human children.
That's right.
are losing the color.
And I've been keeping them going for like 12 years now.
No.
So
that's a nice perspective, Laura. I really like that.
well, I'm glad you
I
appreciate
feel really better about that.
You should.
I've gotten to the point now where I'm naming my plants, and I think that's a different level, and I like talk to them. Have you ever seen the TV show Good Omens, Laura?
No, I have not.
Okay, it's with Michael Sheen and David Tennant, and we have it here at the library, friends. So it's based off of the book, of course, by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett.
Mm-hmm.
And Crawley, one of the characters in it, talks to his plants because he read in a magazine that talking to your plants helps them grow. But he like chastises his plants, like he yells at them, and they like shake in fear from his like scoldings and this kind of stuff. And I think of that every time I talk to my plants.
I will say I do talk to my plants too.
You do?
I do, yeah. But we are not in the house of really creative names.
Mm-hmm.
Like I call them Planty,
Mm-hmm.
and the other Planty,
Mm-hmm.
and the other Planty.
Mm-hmm.
Like even my kids, like their stuffed animals are Blue Bunny and White Bunny. We're very plain at our house.
You're at the book.
But I do talk to the plants, and I do like to like dust their leaves and go each one. I dust the top and dust the bottom. I try and take care of them. I do.
My accomplishment so far is the fact that I remember to water them because sometimes that used to not happen.
Well, yours haven't been around long enough to get dusty yet.
That's probably very true.
Mine have had some dust on them.
That's true.
That's not my favorite job.
And you have a lot of plants, Laura. How many do you have in your house?
I think at last count it was 20.
20 plants?
Well, let me just say some I divided. So my fern I divided and my snake plant I divided. I've gotten to that point now where I can divide stuff. And my olive trees, I have some really nice olive trees in my house. I have 2, and one is so awesome. It's just these darn citrus trees. I've got a problem. So if anybody has citrus trees, like seriously, you can give me a thing in the comments and tell me. I think I have spider mites, and I have been washing them off, and I have been like spraying it with insecticidal soap, but it's still foiling me at every turn.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that again? What is a spider mite?
It's a very tiny insect that is, I'm assuming it's some sort of spider, but it makes little tiny webs on there, and you can't hardly see them. They just look like little dots on there. So I have showered my tree. I have sprayed it with soap. It has been in the bathtub in my house. I have gotten many complaints about where my plant has been located in my house. But I've tried everything, and he's still dropping the leaves. It's driving me nuts.
Well, you know what? Let's put our thoughts together for the lemon tree.
Yes.
Hopefully this lemon tree keeps going.
Tim's hoping that at some point I can make some lemonade from it. I don't know.
Is it like it really will give you lemons?
I think it will. I have an orange tree too, which did grow one orange.
Okay.
And it was not a bad size, but it didn't ever turn orange. It was like a green orange.
Okay. So 2021 goals, possibly a lemon, possibly an orange that is actually an orange.
Those are my goals.
Okay.
Yes.
I like that.
So that's how exciting life has been at Casa de Laura.
Okay, there we go.
How about you, Brittanie?
Oh, it's just, it's the plants right now, Laura. We're definitely, the plants are giving me, something new and interesting to do. I'm a big journaler and planner, so I recently did a pickup at Michael's for a bunch of planner supplies, and that was pretty exciting, though my partner groans every time I come home with the bag.
Yeah, I understand that.
I would like a Michael's in Leamington, Laura.
That would be kind of fun.
That would be
great. It would and it wouldn't, because I would spend too much money.
Yes, I know. I'd be broke, but at least I could have a Michael's.
Yeah, this is true.
So far away.
I know.
Let's talk about our hot topic this week, Laura.
Why is this not interesting enough for you?
The plants. The plant conversation. Yeah. I mean, it's working for me, but at some point, I think we can tap out. We can move on from the plants.
Yeah. So hot topic. It's quite hot this week. What is it?
It's spring break.
Yay!
That's right, guys. We lost our March break. And, well, not all of us, but those who have March break lost their March break. And now you get an April break, which just doesn't have the same ring to it, Laura.
No, it doesn't.
So the library, of course, usually we throw on quite the March break programming every year. It's quite the fiesta.
Yes, it is.
And this year we're doing it again. If you remember, Laura, last year, actually, March break is when COVID shut us all down, and all of our March break stuff had to get canceled. So this year, we're online.
I try not to remember that.
Okay, great.
It was, I think everybody's trying to forget last March break.
All right, that's fair.
But
all right,
but we've got 5 fun-filled days.
Oh, do we ever?
I mean that seriously.
Uh-huh.
We have some great stuff, I think, online.
Oh, absolutely. I think, you know what? I think, for us being, the library workers of this system, who had never done online programming before, we really had to step up and figure out how that was going to work and how that was going to look like. And I don't mean to brag, but I think Essex County Library kind of did really well.
I think so. I think there's been some really awesome programs on there, and I like seeing everybody's faces, because now I am not saying that I am tired of any of my lovely Leamington ladies' faces, but I do enjoy seeing the ladies from LaSalle, from Kingsville, from Essex, from Lakeshore, everybody from Amherstburg. I like being able to see their faces, and this is the way we have to do it right now, and I'm enjoying it.
I am too. I've been liking our Sunday morning book recommendations that we've been having lately. I think those are really cool.
Those are great.
And just like our creative Facebook groups, we have Cook a Book, right? No. You got Cook a Book?
Yeah.
Our Essex County Library cooking Facebook group, in which everyone posts about all the recipes they're making and all the cookbooks they're looking at. It's given us some ideas, Laura.
Yeah, oh, I bet. Well, we're going to talk about our cooking afterwards.
Absolutely. But let's talk about some of the programming that you guys can participate in April.
So I know we have something going on every day. I think there is a challenge, isn't there, Brittanie? Monday to Friday, there is a special challenge that you do every day. I believe you have to log on to Facebook and check it out each and every day, but that's something different every day.
Absolutely. Things like Mondays, like read a book to your pet or your stuffy. We got...
Or your plant.
Or your plant. Oh, that's a great idea. I could read to my plant. He'd be a better listener than my dog. Go for a walk and find 3 different kinds of birds. Create a masterpiece of a book cover using materials in your home. Make your own bookmark with a cereal box. All this kind of stuff. A different challenge every day for you and your family to participate in online.
I think that's something fun.
I think that's going to be great. I'm also kind of excited for our poetry contest, Laura.
Yes, I think this is really, really cool. This is great for people that want to do something, like, I don't want to say physically, but let's do something, not just watch something.
Absolutely. And it's for 7 and up, so it's very, almost all ages really when you think about it. And you can submit it online, or you can bring your poem, put it in an envelope, and stick it in our drop boxes if you want for us to get them. You have until April 30th. And if you are looking to submit a poem, it's social media at EssexCountyLibrary.ca. I've been actually reading a lot of poetry right now, Laura, due to one of my new favorite poets, as you know, from the American inauguration.
Amanda Gorman.
Yes, and her new book, The Hill We Climb, an inaugural poem for the country, comes out March 30th. So take a look at that in our catalog.
That's just around the corner.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, it'll already be out by the time they get this episode.
Oh, I guess that's right.
Yes.
It's around the corner from today.
Yeah, around the corner from today, but for you guys, you're in the future.
And we have story time, which everyone, if you know me at all, you know I'm a regular face on the story time.
Absolutely. Laura is the queen of story time.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I'd say I'm one of the story time court.
All right. There you go.
But I don't want to take the highest spot. But I do enjoy that. And I know that there's a lot of little people that I know that like when they can see their favorite storytime people on there. It's fun.
Absolutely. And that's going to be every Wednesday in April at 10 a.m. Those are going to get posted, but you can really look back at them at any time. So if you can't watch them at 10 a.m., no problem.
Or go to the YouTube page and you can look at the playlists.
Yes,
there.
go to
and
the
then you
YouTube
can watch a
page.
whole bunch.
A whole list for you. We're also doing trivia, Laura. I'm a sucker for trivia.
Oh, I love trivia.
I love it. So trivia every Tuesday in April at 6 p.m. This is going to be aimed more for teens and adults, but it's going to be fantastic. I'm really excited for some of the topics.
I think that there is like a kids Pokemon one as well during spring break. So if you know, I know nothing about Pokemon. Well, I know like random mom things that you've picked up. I've picked up like from my kids' cards. I know a Charizard. That's about it. And a Pikachu. So maybe I could get 2 right, but there will be a trivia. I think that would be pretty good.
That's going to be awesome. Also, we're taking the Among Us game, as I don't know if you know what that game is, Laura.
Oh, yes, I do.
Good. And we're doing an Among Us night in that week, so that's going to be pretty exciting.
You're pretty sus, Brittanie.
I know I am pretty sus. Wow. We just sounded real old there, Laura. Real old.
I am old, Brittanie. That's why.
Okay.
So what else can we do besides just like turn on the old Facebook and check out what's going on at the library? What else do you think, Scott, we can do over this spring break where it's not like our regular go to Florida or otherwise?
Well, for me, Laura, you know this about me, but I'm a writer. And April is Camp Nanowrimo, which for you guys maybe who don't know it, it's called National Novel Writing Month. It's traditionally held in November, in which you are challenged to write a 50,000-word novel in a month. It is participated by everyone from third graders all the way up to New York Times bestselling authors. It is quite a well-established, what you would call it, writing event, maybe I'll say.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and in summer, in April and July, they throw Camp NaNoWriMo, in which you get to pick your word count. So you don't have to write 50,000. You can write 30,000 or 10,000, whatever you feel comfortable with. But I'm participating this year, and I think it's going to be really great. And I think the weather's perfect enough to go outside and write a little bit and, get away from the computers and get out of your house and that kind of thing.
I love that. I didn't know anything about that.
Absolutely.
I have a little budding writer in my house, so I'm going to look that up.
Absolutely. Look it up. It's campnanowrimo.org, or then the original one in November is just nationalnovelwritingmonth.org.
I love that.
What about you, Laura?
Well, I'm not, since I didn't know anything about that, I'm not going to probably be writing anything like that. I'm going to do 2 different things. I am going to try and get outside with the kids, and we're going to try and hit some of the local trails and whatnot. Nice. I hope the weather stays nice, and there's some really good spots to go to. I think we might head out to Amherstburg and maybe Holiday Harbor, or go to Hillman Marsh in Leamington and hike around. I'm sure the kids will love that. Yeah, I'm sure they'll love that. And then I'm going to get a binge box from Essex County Library.
Oh my God, Laura, have you heard about these binge boxes?
Well, since I said I'm going to get one, yes, I have heard about it.
Okay, so I didn't know about them, and I'm a staff of Essex County Library until today, and Laura was telling me about them, and I'm so excited for them. So they're a box of DVDs that you get to take out for 2 weeks. So patrons will know DVDs are traditionally 1 week. You get a box of 4 to 6 DVDs for 2 weeks, and they're all themed. So there's Marvel Hero Origins, which has Captain America, Captain Marvel, Iron Man, and Thor. You get Meryl Streep, the gold standard, which has movies like Julie and Julia, a personal favorite of mine, The Iron Lady, and The Bridge of Madison County. You got, oh my God, the one I'm looking forward to the most, Laura, is the Shark Bait box, in which you get Jaws, 47 Meters Down Uncaged, The Showels, The Meg. I'm so excited, Laura.
That's awesome. I put the DC Heroes one, so there's a DC one, and we're not generally DC fans in my house. We're all Marvel pretty much all the time, but I figured let's go crazy over spring break and watch DC.
Absolutely. And there's a box called The Sarcasm of Ryan Reynolds, which I think is going to be pretty great. There's Recognizing Women's History and the most excellent Keanu Reeves movies. There's awesome love stories. There's about a dozen boxes. So feel free to go online and check it out under binge boxes, and you'll find them there.
Yeah, you just put that in your search. Just do binge box, 2 words, and you'll find them all in there. And I promise, not all the staff have holds on them.
No, not yet.
No, not yet.
Get yourselves on that. Exactly. Get yourselves on that list.
So that's our exciting stuff. I think we might try and hit up somewhere and get some ice cream or something fun, because my kids are just probably sick and tired of doing nothing. So we're going to try and do something fun.
I am so excited that we are getting nice weather again and we can start having ice cream.
Yes, I love it.
Not that I should say for the record that cold weather stops me from eating ice cream, but I think it stops the ice cream shops, and that's the thing I'm really excited about.
I know. That's what I think. So Brittanie and I have put together this little idea. So this is coming out because it's spring break, and I know I'm going to hit ice cream because that's what just me and my kids do. But Brittanie and I are going to challenge ourselves to hit up as many ice cream spots in Essex County from now until the summer, or beyond into the summer, as we can. What do you think, Brittanie? I
mean, I think it's a challenge that I'm very excited to rise to. Let's do this.
Yeah, I'll put on my running shoes, lace up. I think we can do this. So if you have a favorite spot in Essex County to get ice cream, let us know. Yeah, we're going to try and hit everything.
Hit us up in the comments section.
Totally.
Let us know what you think. And I think as we go, we're probably going to start making together a list, and we'll let you guys know where all the ice cream spots in our Essex County and the ones we particularly love.
For sure. And we'll have to do a selfie or whatever. I don't know if those are cool anymore, but I'm not, so it doesn't really matter. Of us outside of these shops with our ice cream.
Yeah, I think that's something that could give me a lot of joy during this COVID times.
Yes. I find myself always wanting to say totally when I'm agreeing with you, but I got some shade thrown at me the other day that I should be saying totes instead of totally. So
totes?
Yes.
No, I'm not saying totes.
Okay, that's fine. Then I'm going back to totally.
Yeah, I'm going to put my foot down on totes.
Okay, you're the younger, cooler one, so
I'm not saying totes.
That. Okay, good.
Throw me in with the old ladies.
That's all right. We'll take you.
Thank you. Let's talk about some fiction recommendations. In case your idea of a spring break includes sitting out on your porch and reading, or on your couch and reading, I think we can give you some pretty good book recommendations.
I think so. I think we have some good ones this time, and hopefully it is nice and you can go and sit out on your porch. That I hope to do during spring break as well.
I'm excited about that too.
Big time. Okay, Brittanie, what is one of your adult book recommendations? We're gonna hit all the age groups here, guys. So keep
Absolutely.
A listen out, and you'll check the notes and see what we've got there, because we'll get some for the kids too.
Absolutely, I have all of this in show notes. So if you forget a title by the end of this podcast, don't worry, it's gonna be there. So fiction, adult fiction. I just read a book, Laura, and I read it in one sitting. That's how, like, sat down on the couch, thought, I'll read a chapter or two and see how it goes. And then all of a sudden it was 11:30 at night and I had finished the book. Like, that's
impressive.
It was, and I'm still thinking I have like the biggest book hangover from this book. So it's not particularly new. Like, it's a 2018 release. It's called The Kiss Quotient by Helen Hong. And it's a romance novel, so I should probably preface with that. It's a romance novel, so if that's not your thing, you're gonna skip this. But it has an autistic heroine in it, and it just reminded me of the importance of representation, Laura, and the magic of seeing yourself represented in literature. Like, to pick up a book and feel like, hey, that could be me. And I'm still thinking about this book. The hero is an Asian man, which is very rare in romance. That's something that's definitely started to improve just recently. And it's fantastic. It won a number of awards when it came out in 2018, and it's just about to get re-released in a mass paperback version. I'm going to go out and buy it, Laura. Like, that's how much I loved this book. So if you love romance, please put this one on your list if you haven't read it. You're going to love it.
I like that. I'm going to add that to my list. For sure.
What about you, Laura?
So I'm currently reading one. It's historical fiction. It's called The Kitchen Front, and it's by Jennifer Ryan. So Leslie, that works in this branch, she recommended it to me. I do like historical fiction. Let me just say that right now. I did feel like I got read out on the World War II historical fiction because, oh my gosh, like 2019, that hit that hard. Ugh. But this is not spies or anything like that. This is set in Britain. It's 2 years into the war, and it revolves around 4 different female characters, and there is a cooking contest so that one of them can be a new co-host for a BBC show called The Kitchen Front, which is, I couldn't remember the name for a sec. And it's how they cook with their rations and all stuff like that. And then there's recipes in the book too.
And so my understanding, so I did a little research on this book. The recipes are historically accurate, which means they only contained ingredients that you could have gotten in World War II when you were working off of rations. And B, The Kitchen Front was an actual BBC show.
Was it really?
This is based off this conception.
It's really good so far. Really am enjoying it. So it's The Kitchen Front, and it's historical fiction. If you like historical fiction, I would put this on your list for sure.
Awesome.
Brittany, I know you have another one.
I got one more for you guys for the adult, and that's The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by B.E. Schwab. Now, I should disclaimer this by saying B.E. Schwab is one of my all-time favorite authors. She's an auto-buy for me. It doesn't even matter. She could write a phone book, and I'd probably buy it from her. So this one is about a young girl in 16th century France who is set to be married. She lives in a very small village. She's reached an age that's almost spinsterish for that time, which is really only your mid-20s. And she's about to get married off to this guy, and she doesn't want to be. She wants more from her life. So one day she's out walking in the woods, and she makes a deal with the devil. And it's not like the traditional, like, Satan devil. It's has more like a Celtic pagan feel to it. But she makes a deal that she wants to live forever. And she doesn't want to have anything tying her down, like a husband, for example. And as the deals always go, he adds a little bit of a spin to it in which she is never remembered. So she's basically almost invisible. So she walks into a store, she meets an individual, that individual turns away to like maybe make her a coffee or something. And when he turns back around, he doesn't remember her because she's not rememberable. So she can never talk to a person twice. Like, they don't remember her.
Oh, man. I know I'm on hold for this. I'm excited to get this now.
It's fantastic. So it follows her from 16th century France all the way to 2014 New York, in which she walks into a bookstore for the second time, and the boy there remembers her. Oh. It's so good, guys. Put it on your list to read. There is a waiting list for it already, but it's fantastic.
Oh, I know I'm on hold for that one. That's going to be really good. I'm excited to read that now. I didn't know that's what it was about. Mm-hmm. Well, that sounds good. So I have one other one.
All right.
I do like books about food and cooking. I do like cookbooks too, but I do, if there's ever a book that's about cooking or whatever, I love it. One of my favorite books is that. But I'm reading one, it's called Miss Cecily's Recipes for Exceptional Ladies. So it's more kind of like a chick lit, kind of like, it's a lighter read. It's a perfect one for spring break. It's set in Britain as well. It has recipes in it. And I'm just going to say, when there is a recipe for tea for a crotchety ant, like, sign me up. I'm totally reading that.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I love when books have, like, you know those paperback novels, mystery novels that have recipes in it and knitting patterns at the end? Those books, they always have like an animal on the cover of them. They have some weird title that's like punny almost. Like, those books give me life, and I don't even read them, but they're fantastic.
I love them. I am all in whenever there's a good pun.
Absolutely.
Totally.
All right, Laura, let's move on to some teen recommendations.
Yes, and those are all yours this week.
Yeah, this is not so much, it is recommendations, but it also, hey, these are out, these are new, and if you like them, we have them. So Cassandra Clare, longtime writer of the Mortal Instruments series, her latest novel, Chain of Iron, is out. We have it, so if you're looking to read it, come on in and put it on the holds list because we got it. And Rule of Wolves by Leah Bardugo. That'll be out now by the time you're listening to this. It's, of course, the latest book in the Grisha series, which is, of course, being turned into the Netflix. Yep, so that's the latest one. It's out as well, so readers who are looking for that, we have it. And Sarah J. Maas's Court of Silver Flames is now out. I wanted to give everyone a heads up. It has now been moved to the adult section. Anyone who reads it probably knows why. So if you're looking for it, A, there's a holds list, but now B, it will be in a completely different section of your library. So heads up.
I like Sarah J. Maas too.
Oh, I love Sarah J. Maas. Absolutely.
She's really good.
She's great.
So I've got the JUV titles this time. So we're looking, the ones I've got here about ages 9 to 12, I would say. Maybe even the first one I'm going to say you could probably go a little younger. So Dogman, which is one of the favorites in my house. Book 10 is out right now. It's called Mothering Heights. It's by Dave Pilkey. Graphic novel, really silly, but there's that pun in the title, Mothering Heights, and they always kind of have a riff on the book that they're spoofing off of, so it'll be some kind of Wuthering Heights kind of deal. But yeah, it's that, actually we had to pre-order that. It's already at my house right now, and it's probably already been read twice.
And this is always the series, Dogman is the series that hooks a lot of kids into reading. Yep. Like, they're a bestseller for a reason. Dave Pilkey, he's also the guy who does Captain Underpants, which hooked so many kids into reading as well. So if you have a kid at home struggling and you want to get them into reading, I absolutely recommend Dogman for that. 100%.
That's my son got really into it with that, and he wrote to Scholastic to tell them how much he liked all the books, and they sent him a box full of books, and they sent him a Dogman book signed by Dave Pilkey.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool.
That's really, amazing.
Really cool. And that's been his favorite. He's going to be 13, and these are his favorite series. But he could read a little bit higher, but this is his favorite, and it's funny. And it's a quick read if you're a really good reader. And if you're a struggling reader, it's still not going to take you a long time.
Well, as a girl whose favorite book is Harry Potter and who read that when she was 8, I can't judge. I can't judge him for that.
No, I don't judge. You have a favorite book, that's fine, because that means you actually have read a book. So that's good.
Absolutely.
So another one that's coming out that I have at home to read is Unplugged by Korman. I love Gordon Korman. He's been around forever and a day. I used to read it when I was a kid going to the library, back in the McDonald Hall books. But this one is about a kid who has to go and unplug at a spa.
Oh.
So I think it should be pretty interesting. Like I say, I have that at home to read right now. So that's another one. That one's brand new. And then Brittanie knows, I just read a book the other day. It's called Bloom by Kenneth Oppel. So he's also a Canadian author. Sci-fi horror. Laura is not generally a horror reader, so I flew through this book because it was scaring the life out of me.
I got text messages from Laura that was like, Brittanie, this book, and I was like, what's happening? And she goes, it's scary. And I'm like, it's for 12-year-olds, Laura. And apparently that doesn't matter.
And I said, this is more for 12. This is not 12 years old. This is for older kids. There's people getting killed in it. All kinds of stuff. These plants are taking over the earth and they eat people. Oh my goodness. There's a little bit of fantasy in it, and that's the part of sci-fi. I like sci-fi fantasy, so the kids, like the one kid, they have special powers. I'm going to just leave it at that. But if you like scary stuff, or if your kids like scary stuff, this is a trilogy, and it starts with Bloom, and the next one is Hatch, and that's about bugs, and there is no way in this entire world that I am reading that book.
Laura's tapping out right now. That's not getting read.
All done. But if you like scary stuff, like this will be for sure a good book for you. And I read it in a night. I had to fly through it because I'm like, I can't sleep if I don't finish this.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So like take that as you will. Like it's a recommendation if you like that kind of stuff. If you're going to be scared like me, big baby, then don't read it.
Those are that's a nice wide range of recommendations though, Laura.
I
Horror,
think so.
funny, you know.
I think so. I think those are good. There's something for everybody, I think, there.
Absolutely. We got a children's book, which I'm really kind of excited about. So me and Laura are fans of Michelle Obama. Mm-hmm. And she is coming out with a TV show on Netflix in which she is the executive producer of, called Waffles and Mochi.
You got anything called Waffles, I'm in.
Absolutely. So Waffles is like this. It looks like a creature with waffle ears, and Mochi, it looks like mochi, like the Japanese ball food
like
kind of thing.
Cream.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's coming. Of course, there's a book that's launching with this. It's part of Michelle Obama's campaign to get kids and families to eat healthier. Apparently, it's going to be pretty great. I'm kind of excited for it, and I don't even have kids. But the book that is coming out is called Follow That Food by Christy Webster, and it's a Waffles and Mochi book. So that's something I think parents, you should be looking out for.
Yes, I think so. I was going to say totally again. Yes, I 100% agree. I am looking forward to this. And my kids are bigger now, but I still love stuff like this.
I think it's going to be great.
Yeah. I was going to say it again. I got a problem with saying totally.
Apparently so.
Okay.
All right.
So that's spring break, kind of in a nutshell.
I think so.
Now is the moment you've all been waiting for, our cookbook challenge.
Oh boy, friends. Was this a week for me? I don't. So we did Magnolia Table by Joanna Gaines. So that's that couple that does that show.
Fixer Upper.
Fixer Upper, yes. Which I confessed last time I hadn't seen any episodes with, and with this incident I had with cooking, I probably traumatized her seeing her face again because it didn't go well, friends. Let's have Laura go first. Laura, what happened?
So let's tell them what we made. So we decided we're going to do biscuits and sausage gravy because who doesn't like biscuits and sausage gravy? Maybe you don't like it, but I like it. Brittanie likes it. My family is into it. Tim doesn't like biscuits. I forgot until I made that. But sausage gravy, yes. So that's what we were going to make. I was making it. We had a homework emergency that night, so it was a bit of stress cooking. I kept telling Brittanie over text, I'm putting all the bitterness that I have into this food right now because I'm so mad. But because of course I had no butter. Every turn I had, I was met with some sort of obstacle. So it is an American cookbook, so it calls for self-raising flour, which we do not have in Canada. So you have to. I just quickly Google what it is, and it's just you add more baking powder to it. So I did tell Brittanie that, and want everybody to know I did tell her that.
Yeah.
So you add that, and you make biscuits. So I bake. I enjoy baking. I've baked since I was really little. It was not difficult for me. They came out wonderfully. There was, I think, 24 biscuits it made, and they were, oh my gosh, they were swimming in butter. Swimming in butter. Ooh. Yeah, I took out the pan. I couldn't believe it. There was butter, like, everywhere. But, they were so good. I loved them. Both my kids loved them. And then, of course, Tim's like, he tried it. I'll say he tried it, but he just doesn't like biscuits, and I don't understand how, so he ate toast.
Is not liking, like, how do you like bread but not like biscuits? Like, it's just fluffy bread.
How do you like old mill white bread that I buy at the grocery store because you don't like whole wheat bread and not like freshly baked biscuit?
That's blowing my mind a little bit there, Laura.
Oh, well. Welcome to the world of Tim.
All right. Well,
and then I made the sausage gravy.
Oh, yeah.
It was so good. My son would have drank that down. It was so good. So, like, for me, 2 thumbs up on both recipes.
Yeah.
But let's remember, I'm the more experienced cook here. So, Brittanie, how did it go?
So, Brittany's mouth is watering at your description of all this food because I didn't get that far. I didn't get to the sausage gravy part because my biscuits turned out to be a bit of a disaster. I'm going to tell you guys something. You know, when this is a thing I didn't know, so, you know, you live and you learn. But there's 2 different types of measuring cups, Laura.
Yeah, there are.
For liquid and solid things.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I don't know which ones I have. I think it's probably going to be the liquid ones because my biscuits turned out somehow half baked, somehow rocky and lumpy. Like they were biscuits that you probably, you know, you could give them to the garden and the earth would probably have a hard time figuring out what to do with them. Like they were those kinds of biscuits.
You could probably have filled some holes in your walls.
Yeah, something like that would have worked real well. Or, you know, like those teething biscuits that you give to like toddlers. Do you know what those are?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so those. You could probably have given them those because you wouldn't have gotten anything.
Probably would have thrown it back at you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, it would have really hurt too. So, my understanding from where I went wrong, friends, is I believe I only have liquid measuring cups.
So, do they have a spout on them?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you used the liquid measuring cup.
Okay, great. And I guess, you know, baking more of a science than perhaps cooking. I find cooking maybe a tad more forgiving to me than baking was because I must have added so I used the thing you sent me for how to do the self-raising flour.
Yes.
And I thought I had done a pretty decent job. I did not. It didn't. I never saw the sausage gravy, friends. The biscuits almost made me cry.
Well, we found out that you don't have like proper measuring spoons either.
Oh yeah, and that's a thing, right? Like it says teaspoon and tablespoon, I literally just pull out a small spoon and a big spoon. So, you know, once again, more forgiving with cooking, less so with baking. Apparently, you need those. I'm sure we have them. I never pulled them out and used them.
Yeah, so baking needs a chemical reaction, and that's why you've got to have stuff. And I'm a bit of a loosey-goosey baker, and it drives my mom crazy. So when you're measuring, and even better than using the measuring scoops is weighing your ingredients.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so I don't have a scale. I should get one because I want to make some macarons and you should weigh those, but I'm not doing that right now. But when you have your scoops, you actually are supposed to like take a knife and go across the top and level out your measuring cup or your measuring scoop. Oh. And you don't pack all the stuff in because then it's too much. Uh-huh.
And I'm a packer. Like
no.
Yeah, no. Mm-hmm. That's what I did.
Oh, no. You packed the flour?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, I thought I had to fill up the whole cup. Laura?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Those were some... Oh, my goodness. And that was, how much flour was in that?
A lot of flour, Laura.
Oh, my God.
A lot of flour.
And you packed that...
Yeah.
Oh, Brittanie, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I should have told you how to do this.
Yeah. So baking, maybe something we'll wait until buy proper measuring cups or something like that.
I think so. I'm sorry. I can't say it enough times. I should have told you. I should have known. I knew you weren't comfortable with that part, and I wasn't thinking. So you get to pick next time.
All right, that seems fair.
Okay. What is our cookbook next time? Have we picked it yet? I think we're thinking Lynn Crawford.
Yes, the farm one.
Yes.
Farm to table?
Yes, I think so.
Yes. So you've met her.
Yes, I have. She actually came to Leamington a few years ago when there was a Sip and Savor festival that we had that twice. And yeah, she came. She was one of our celebrity chefs, and she actually had coffee at my mom's, and then I went and met her, and then I went to the Sip and Savor with her afterwards. She's a really cool lady. And she's from Ontario.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's really, really cool. And I've already looked at that cookbook, and there's some good stuff in there.
Yeah, so we haven't picked the recipe yet, but we have picked out the book. So next episode, we will let you guys know what the recipe is.
And Brittanie totally gets to pick whatever it is she wants to do.
Yeah, I get to pick because I did the baking disaster of 2021. But I think it was a good learning experience, Laura.
I think so. I think you learned that you don't want to bake.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm more in the cooking lane than I am the baking lane. I should have seen it coming, really, Laura. I have to tell you about the Ouellette family curse. Do you want to know about that?
Yes, of course.
So we can't bake like chocolate chip cookies from scratch in my house.
What?
Yeah, like we can buy the Pillsbury Doughboy like pre-rolled dough or like the little things and you just pop them in the oven and you make cookies. But if we make cookies from scratch, it don't work.
What?
We're cursed.
Okay, I'm making you a batch this weekend.
Okay.
I'm going to send it home for you guys.
I really appreciate that because I haven't had fresh chocolate chip cookies in a long time.
Oh, and I make them all the time because I think Tim has chocolate chip cookie runs in his blood.
It runs in my blood too because I buy the Pillsbury dough like it's one day going to be canceled on me or something.
No, I'll supply you now. You'll be like, I don't want to eat those anymore.
I'm never going to say that.
I'm a good cookie baker. I'll tell you.
I'm so excited, Laura.
I am a very good cookie baker. I enjoy baking. Cooking, I'm kind of like meh on because I have picky pants at my house.
Sure.
I did because I made bagels last year. Remember?
Oh, that would be awesome.
So, I don't know if I'm going to get that far yet. I've been very lazy, but I'm going to bake you some chocolate chip cookies. I promise.
I appreciate that. I'm going to hold this to you because you put it on a podcast. So.
Oh, yeah, I know.
All right,
and I can't go back on it.
You can't go back at all.
No. Well, but it's a good cookbook.
It is a beautiful cookbook.
Yes.
It's pretty.
Did yours stay open?
No.
See?
It's a criticism I had about the cookbook.
It's a major criticism for that.
I had to sit something on the page to make it stay down.
Terrible. Whoever's binding Magnolia cookbook, boo! You did a terrible job.
It's gotta lay flat. How else are we supposed to cook out of it?
Goodness sakes, it's terrible.
Everyone's got to learn something.
And library workers don't like busting the spines on stuff.
We do not.
Terrible. Try again. Okay. So now that we've gotten that traumatic incident
moved past my trauma here.
Let's talk about what's going on in the community, about town.
Let's talk about town. I know, Laura, I just got an email, which I deleted and now had to go dig back for. But my Leah Marie's box has started up again.
Yes, me too. Ooh. I love when Leah Marie's comes because it means that it's springtime.
I am so excited. I love, A, supporting local, B, getting local Canadian produce, and C, having it shipped straight to my door.
I love that especially. I love going to the stands, but I love more when the stand comes to my door and here you go. Bonus. My parents love like when it's tomato season and they like drive around the county and like grab all these tomatoes from all these different tomato stands. I don't got time for that. I don't even know where one permanently could be that I could go find it. My dad's like, just drive around and find a tomato stand. And I'm like, who's got time for this? No one has time for this. Come to my door, please. That's hilarious.
I'm lazy.
You'll learn now that you've moved. You'll see all the stands.
All the tomato stands?
Yeah, you will. There's a ton of them.
I'm excited for it. I like tomato sandwiches, Laura. I love tomato sandwiches. Yes. And once you get the best time for tomato sandwiches is in the summer when we get our tomatoes coming in.
Field tomato sandwich, 100%. Mayonnaise on both sides, just lightly with salt and pepper. Okay, and it has to be toasted.
Toasted, absolutely. Yes. Salt and pepper, absolutely. I am not a light mayo kind of girl. I am a let's slather that sucker in mayo kind of girl.
Well, that's okay. I can get behind that. Yes, I enjoy a tomato sandwich wholeheartedly. Yum.
I'm excited for those.
Yes, me too.
What I went to, though, to treat myself this week, I got some dairy freeze, Laura.
I'm so jealous. I can't even describe how jealous I am of that.
It's so good.
What did you get?
Well, so I get their hamburgers. I really like their hamburgers there. I get their onion rings.
Oh, which are good choice.
Most delicious, yes. And we get a butterscotch milkshake.
I have never had one.
It's like if you want butterscotch sundae and they put it in a milkshake for you.
I've never had either one.
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
I've not ever been a butterscotch person.
Okay. Well, I love butterscotch. I like it. Here's the thing I'm going to say. A bold statement, Laura. I like butterscotch better than caramel.
Oh, well,
Yes.
I don't know about that.
Yes. So butterscotch is my jam. And I go to Dairy Freeze and I'll order a butterscotch sundae and I'll be like, could you just fill that bottom container with butterscotch for me so I can it's like butterscotch soup by the time it's done. It's the most amazing thing.
Do your teeth not hurt after you eat that?
No, they're resistant after years of butterscotch sundaes.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
It's live or die in my mouth. You deal with the sugar or you perish. What can I say?
I love it. So my go-to is a Boston cooler.
Oh yes.
Every time.
I have to be in the mood for a Boston cooler. Like they're not like when I want one,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not a thing that I get every time I go to Dairy Freeze.
I go between that and a cherry shake. See, that's what I like, the cherry shakes. But I'm not a chocolate person. Like, throw all the stuff at me right now. I know who is not a chocolate person. Well, me, I'm not a chocolate person. I'll get a vanilla shake every time instead of a chocolate shake.
So I'm a chocolate shake girl.
Yeah,
I
everyone
like
I
that.
know is.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? It's all good stuff.
The cherry is excellent. Highly, highly recommend. My friend Melissa told me to get it because that's what they got. And I'm like, I've never had that because I always get a Boston cooler. And then I got a cherry shake and I was like, whoa, this is going to be a hard choice now. Hard choice.
Gotta flip the coin.
Well, one of the kids will get the cherry shake and then we'll just kind of go back and forth.
Back and forth.
Because
well, it's the
I
same
will
size.
share with my kids as long as they're not eating because I don't do backwash.
Oh, gross.
Blech. But if you're not eating anything, yeah, we'll switch back and forth.
And milkshakes are the same size.
I know.
So you might as well share.
For sure.
They're
You
huge
always
anyway.
do that.
Mm-hmm.
And we're the chicken burger people when we go to Dairy Freeze.
That's
I
what my
love their
partner
chicken-
gets.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I love their chicken burgers. But onion rings, 100%.
Yes.
They're so good. Now I really want that.
I know.
See, I haven't done that yet, and I really want to do that.
I know. No,
It's all right.
It's how
It's
you
coming.
start spring. Yeah.
I know. That's how it is. I did go to Call Santy's a couple weeks ago.
You did.
That I did go do, and
To get more plants for your house full of plants?
I might have, yeah.
Was Tim thrilled?
He didn't notice. I only got small enough ones to scoot in there, and he
Well,
didn't
at
notice.
some point there hits a number of plants in which you add more plants and you always assume they've just always been there.
Yes, that's it. I think that's where we're at right now.
I think so. Well, 20 something plants. I think
Yes.
that's the number.
Well, it was a thyme plant, so I like using fresh thyme. So it smells really nice. I've got it by my sink, and I can just rub my hands on it, oh, it smells so nice.
I got that little lemon tree. You know those little ones?
You did?
Yes. But the little, not one that grows lemon, the lemon smelling tree.
Oh, lemon cypress. Oh,
Yes.
I killed that. I've killed that before.
Yeah. So I got one of those because they were cute.
They're
'Cause
cute.
They had this little pot that has a bee on the front of it. It's
Oh,
it's
that'd be cute.
I'm allergic to bee stings and terrified of bees. But I love I'll buy things with bees on it, and I understand they're very important for the environment. Save the bees, everyone. But that means that I look to support them in other ways, like buying in on a flower pot.
I'm sure they saw the proceeds from that.
I'm sure they absolutely did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems legit.
It totally does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bought that, and I'm trying to root some plants. I could have said this earlier, but it's probably just as boring than it is now. I'm trying to root some of my fresh herbs that I bought, too.
What does root mean?
So I'm propagating them. So
Wow, that's another word. I don't know what that means.
I cut the bottoms off of my sage and my mint, and then I put that into some jars full of water, and they're growing roots right now.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was a cool experiment. So while I am so excited to go buy plants, ridiculous, it's only March right now. Well, it's going to be April when you listen to this, but it's way too early to buy plants. But I want to get stuff growing.
I'm excited to get some outdoor plants. I found all my outdoor pots the other day, and I'm like, gotta fill these.
I know, and even driving by like Anna's Flowers, and they've got pansies and stuff like that outside, because those are hardy ones, right? You can have them. And tulips are starting to come up. Oh, I want to walk around every municipality and see it as it's starting to come to life again.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite is Amherstburg. I like to say how much I love Amherstburg all the time, but I do love Amherstburg. It's not just because of the lovely mayor's wife, who is one of our coworkers.
Oh, absolutely.
But they have that park, and it's full of magnolia trees.
Yes.
Oh, that is like so beautiful. And I missed that last year. I missed the bloom there, but I am going to get there this year.
Absolutely.
Because I'm going to go to the waterfront ice cream place, which opens in April, because I looked it up on Facebook. And I'm going to get an ice cream, and I'm going to go into the magnolia forest across the street. Not in April, because they'll probably be May, but yes, that's what I'm doing.
That is so exciting.
It is exciting. That's like my about town.
I think that's what COVID has really taught us, is that the little things can be really exciting, Laura.
I think you're right. I really think so. Like, even just seeing like the robins come back, or when the butterflies are out. And I know we talked last time about how I'm the weather girl and about the lake, and that lake is gorgeous right now.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Not a drop of ice on there.
It's the water is like sparkling in the sunlight.
I
like
love
it's
it.
Beautiful.
It's fantastic. So now the ice report is done. There's a long time before the corn report now starts, Brittanie. I gotta find something else to tell you about.
I only feel a great sense of relief, Laura. I gotta be honest with you.
As do all the people in my house.
Yeah. There's like a little reprieve between ice melting and corn growing that we're like, no report.
Yes, we don't have to hear about these mundane things from this weird person anymore. And that's all right. But the lake is looking phenomenal. It's beautiful. So get out and go appreciate everything that there is in Essex County right now. Because while maybe not everything is what we are used to, there's some really good hidden gems out there.
Absolutely.
Like just our weather and where we are, our lake, our beautiful like walking trails and all that. Just makes me like, I want to go for a walk now.
I do too. Well, Laura,
I think that's a good spot to end. So
I think
maybe
it's
we can
a
go
good
for a
spot
walk.
to end. Absolutely. I think we should remind people though that if they're enjoying this podcast, if you like hearing us ramble about plants and all the other thing, and Laura, if you're looking forward to Laura's future corn report, yes. You should jump on the Essex County Library Facebook page and the YouTube page. And if you can like and comment and subscribe, those are the things that will really help keep us going if you want to keep hearing us. We're on a trial basis right now. So if you'd like to see ECL do more programming like this podcast, feel free to show a little love.
For sure. We would love that. And check out the Facebook page to see all the different programs and stuff that are coming up, because I'm sure we missed some stuff when we were talking. There's always stuff because all the creative minds around here are buzzing constantly.
Absolutely. And you can go on our website where we'll have a full calendar of all the programs on there as well. That's essexcountylibrary.ca. And we have things for all ages, from your little ones all the way up to the elderly.
And, well, we aren't open right now. But if you have any questions, you want to place holds, or you want some recommends, give us a call. Call the branches. We're here. We're not here on Sundays, but we're here Monday to Saturday. Call us. We'd love to talk to you, and we'll give you some recommendations.
Absolutely. And if you're listening to this podcast and you're like, hey, what about this genre? Feel free to comment in the video comments, and we'd love to know what you want recommendations on, and we'll certainly strive to give you some great recommendations.
And don't forget to tell us your favorite ice cream places.
Yes, please give us ice cream place ideas. Yes. Those are very important.
That's right near the top of the list.
That's actually number one.
Yeah.
Out of everything I just said, the ice cream places is number one.
I think so. So until next time, Brittanie, and we're going to have a special guest next time. I forgot to say that.
The special guest.
Oh, it's going to be good.
We're going to have one of our great friends, Laura from LaSalle. So we have a lot of Lauras in this system, Laura.
Oh, I know.
We have
we do.
A solid 3, and you start adding Lori's in, and that number climbs.
It does.
So we're going to call her Laura B. She's LaSalle staff, and she's coming next episode to talk with us.
I can't wait. I love her.
So come back and listen to us in another 2 weeks, and we'll have that very special episode for you.
So see you, friends. Take care, stay safe, and go have an ice cream.
Go have an ice cream, friends.